Friends, we made it. This is the last sense in this course. Sense number 54. What in the world? This has been a journey, and there were a few days where I got off track, but you know what? We made it. So if you are on this journey with me and are on day 54 and have done all the other senses with me, congratulations, because I think that where we are, at least where I am now, is in a much more connected, much more aware place than I was when I started. Because I've gotten to experience at least a little bit and at least acknowledge each sense, each of these 54 senses. And doesn't it make life so much richer, even just to know they're there? To know we're hardwired with these incredible senses and attractions that keep us in balance, that keep us in homeostasis, that keep us in the word that comes to mind is friendship with everyone and everything around us. And this is what the world needs. This is why this work is so important, you guys. I know you know this because I've been talking about it all the way through. You probably already know it for yourself. But the disconnection that we experience as a culture, as a people in a culture, the disconnection from our bodies, the disconnection from the experience our bodies are having, is by definition the disconnection from the now, which by definition is actually the only place that life is occurring. So we are missing out on our actual lives when we are disconnected from our bodies. If we are only living in our heads, we're missing out. We think we're in this world of concepts and ideas, but that's not actually what's happening. Now, thinking has a place, but it shouldn't be running the ship, right? You've probably heard that metaphor before. The mind is a great foot soldier. Thinking is a great foot soldier for the soul, for the heart, for our experience right now in our bodies. But it doesn't do well when it leads. It's really backwards because it's like putting your dog in charge of your life. You know, it does some things very well, and other things it doesn't do well at all. And one of the things it doesn't do well at all is knowing what you should be doing. The only person that knows what you should be doing is you, but it's only you if you're connected. Because if you're not connected, who are you listening to? You're looking for other gurus, you're looking for books, and I write books and I read books too. But in all three of my books, I talk about reconnecting with the self, and because that's what it's about, reconnecting with your own wisdom. My books are just pointing you back to you. And if you have a guru or a book or a leader, anybody in your life who's not pointing you back to you and saying, here's what I know, and this may be helpful for you, and here's what I see for you, but you go to your own wisdom, because your body will tell you what is right for you if you are connected to it. And we have these 54 senses, at least 54. This is a rather arbitrary number. This is a rather arbitrary list. This is a rather arbitrary way to separate the experience that we have as a whole, as human beings. But it's helpful, isn't it? It's helpful to know that we have at least 54 senses that are giving us information all the time about what's right for us, that are creating intuitive knowings about what we need to be doing for us in our lives, about what's right for us. We don't need to be looking to other people. We can get information. That's great. We need that. You know, we can ask other people's opinion that we trust. We can ask about other people's experience. But if we don't come back to our own body, if we don't come back to our own authentic experience, if we don't come back to all of our senses that we've gone through in this course, we're living someone else's life, or we're living like this piecemeal thing that doesn't really have any connection to who we really are. We don't even really know who we really are. So getting back to that authentic core of who we are is the most important thing that any one person could do for yourself, all the way up to the solar system. Because if you are not aligned in yourself, you will not teach your children that. You will not model that for anyone else in your life. You will not be living a life, in my opinion, that's worth a whole lot. Because you're just going to be following what other people did, what other people think you might be doing, trends, what other people are selling you. And there's a lot of people trying to sell you things. That's a huge component of our culture. So if we are not connected and we're just buying into, on whatever level, anyone else's idea of who or what we should be, or what we should be doing, or why we should be doing that, we're really missing the point, and we're missing our lives. And I'm so happy that you did this course with me, and that we got to explore this together. This was so fun for me and so expansive, and I just had so much fun doing it with you guys. And it also got me out in nature a lot more, which is so beneficial in so many ways. So really, I'm already talking about the last sense, but let me read it to you so we get the whole thing. All right, sense 54, sense of homeostatic unity, of natural attraction as the singular mother seed essence of all our other senses. So this is the best one to be the last one, because it's really a wrap up of all the other ones. It's saying that our homeostasis, our attraction to being balanced and being in homeostasis, is actually the natural attraction that makes all of these others possible, and is the seed / mother essence of all of our other senses. So beautiful, right? We come around full circle to actually wrap it up in this, I'm going to plug in. Should have done this earlier. That we wrap it all up in this beautiful encasing of the mother attraction, the mother sense, which is that sense of homeostasis and what does it say? Homeostatic unity, and that our attractions are to follow our natural attractions. I think that's gorgeous. I think that's so beautiful. So, as part of a whole, we are in these forms for now, but we're not alone. We're never alone. We're always connected. We're always connected by these natural attractions to everything in our environment, everything around us. And if we're aware of that, we have the opportunity to go within, to experience our real lives as they're happening, and to get to model that for our children and for the rest of the world, and to get to show, because there's so many forces that say otherwise, and we know they're not true if we're here, but we get to show what it's like to live an authentic life. We get to show what it's like to be a genuine person. Not just act genuine, actually be genuine. And that doesn't make everyone your friend. It doesn't make everyone like you. It may cause you to shed people in your life that aren't in alignment with you. But if you're being authentic with who you are, if you are awake and aware to all of these 54 senses, then you know what's right for you. And you can make decisions from that place. And someone comes in your face, someone even maybe the person you respect the most in your life, comes to you and says, you need to be doing this. This is what I see. And you can go, you know what? Let me let me take that in. Thank you for your input. And let me check in with how I feel about it. No one can ever manipulate you. No one can ever trick you. From that space, no one can sell you anything. No one can rattle you, shake you, uncenter you. You're coming from that place. For sure, I think for me, probably for most people, this is a practice. And that's why I did this course, so we could, first of all, become aware that we have these natural attractions that actually bring us back into connection with our authentic self. That we get practice doing that, and that we also become aware when we're not in that space, that we can check in and know, oh gosh, I've just been disembodied completely from this. I've been dismembered, like, as far as awareness is, right? Dismembered from my body and from the wholeness of who I am. So we can come back into being the wholeness of who we actually are and live from that. And to me, that is what life is all about. If I get to the end of my life and my circumstances are all over the place, which I'm sure they will be, because our circumstances we just make a story about what they mean or don't mean, right? What I want to know at the end of my life is that I lived my life authentically, that I did the work to reconnect, re-whole myself, re-embody, remember who I am, and live from there. That's it. That's all. That is a successful life to me. So thank you for so much for being here with me and for just being on this journey together to this remembering of who we really are, the remembering of our authentic selves, the remembering of who we were, who we are without all of the other influences from our parents to pharmaceutical companies to Facebook advertisers to our friend groups to anybody in our lives that's trying to, intentionally or not, tell us that there's something out there that knows better than we do. And there isn't. And there isn't. And these 54 senses will always bring you back into connection with who you are. So, okay. I salute you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And before you end, this is what I would suggest. Take out your journal. Take a look at your 1 through 10s. And if you feel to, take a page and write down each one. Or, write down each number, and then make hash marks after each number, how many of those, and see if it was different. You could do that before, you could do that for the before journals and the after journals. So you could look and see, hey, after I spent some time in wild nature, after I connected with this sense, did my number go from a 3 to a 5? For instance, is there a general trend of that? And then just take a look at kind of where you started. Go back to the beginning and look at what's different in your life now. Are you more connected in ways that you had no idea you would be? Are there things that became apparent to you that were not apparent in the first place? What transformation has happened with you through the course of going through these 54 senses with me? I can tell you, for me, I feel much more connected. I feel very solid in my authentic self. I feel really excited to continue to live this even more authentic life and to do even more practice and habituation of coming back to that authentic self when I get out, because I have much more awareness of when I'm not there as well. So those are just some changes for me. I think there's more stillness for me too. There's a little more stillness in my life at this point. And the fact that I know I can always come back, even just during this video, I've come back so many times into recentering into connection with my body and just regrounded. And the knowledge that I can do that at any time, that I know how to do that, whether it's connecting with how does my butt feel on the sofa, how does gravity feel on my arm, going through some of those physical senses, all the way to this natural attraction to our natural attractions. Like, it's all built in. We really do just have to tune in. We have to put up our antenna. We have to tune in, get a little bit quiet with ourselves, and commit to the real thing. Commit to our authentic self and our authentic life. All right. So much love. Thank you.